Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. In today's video, we will explore the power of silence and how it can help us avoid conflicts, preserve our inner peace, and bring us closer to God. For this, we will be inspired by the lessons of one of the wisest men who ever lived, King Solomon. Solomon was the third king of Israel, the son of David and Bathsheba, ruling for about 40 years. He stood out for his wealth, intelligence, and justice, in addition to being a great writer, author of books of the Bible such as Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Song of Songs. Apply these teachings in your life, and you will see positive changes. Watch this video and transform your way of acting. Solomon left us many teachings on how to deal with life situations, especially with words. He knew that words have the power for both good and evil, capable of building or destroying, blessing or cursing, healing or hurting. That is why he taught us to use words with care, moderation, and wisdom. Often, this means knowing when to stay silent. Silence is a virtue not always valued in our society. We live in a noisy world, bombarded with information, opinions, and stimuli all the time. It seems we are always pressured to speak, express ourselves, and comment on everything. But is that really necessary? Is that really beneficial? Solomon shows us that it is not. He teaches us that there are times when it is better to be silent than to speak, better to listen than to respond, better to reflect than to react. He shows us that silence can be a form of respect, humility, prudence, and spirituality. Let's now look at 7 lessons from Solomon on the power of silence, based on some verses from his books. The first lesson is that silence avoids fights and offenses. How many times have we been involved in unnecessary arguments, meaningless conflicts, and mutual offenses simply because we could not control our tongue? How many times have we spoken without thinking, without measuring the consequences, without considering the feelings of others? Solomon warns us about this danger in several verses, such as, to answer before listening, that is folly and shame, Proverbs 18 verse 13. The second lesson is that silence shows respect and reverence to God. There are times when words are insufficient, inadequate, or inappropriate. In these moments, words can hinder, interrupt, or distract, being seen as disrespect, irreverence, or disobedience. Solomon teaches us to recognize these moments and to keep silence as a way to honor and obey those who have authority over us, be it God, our parents, or leaders. For example, guard your steps when you go to the house of God. Go near to listen rather than to offer the sacrifice of fools. Ecclesiastes 5 verses 1-2. Silence helps us to better hear the voice of God, better receive the advice of our parents, and better follow the guidance of our leaders. The third lesson is that silence preserves peace and harmony. We live in a world full of diversity and differences of opinion, which can enrich our culture but also generate conflicts. Solomon suggests using silence as a way to avoid disputes, promote dialogue, and respect others. Fools find no pleasure in understanding but delight in airing their own opinions. Proverbs 18 verse 2. Silence prevents us from speaking ill of others, spreading lies, provoking discord, and imposing our ideas. It makes us value understanding more than expression, truth more than fame, friendship more than enmity. Our channel is full of videos like this one. Binge watch them, and you will see how much better you will feel. Let us know your opinion. Leave in the comments what bothers you. Share your thoughts with us. The fourth lesson is that silence reveals maturity and self-control. A mature and balanced person knows how to control their emotions, impulses, and desires, which is reflected in how they use words. Solomon shows us that silence is a way to reveal maturity and self-control, as it makes us master our tongue, anger, and envy. Those who guard their mouths and their tongues keep themselves from calamity. Proverbs 21 verse 23. Silence saves us from the anguish caused by imprudent words, makes us more patient than violent, and more content than covetous. The fifth lesson is that silence attracts God's grace and blessing. We all want to be happy, successful, and blessed. Solomon teaches us that silence is a way to attract God's grace and blessing, as it makes us trust more in Him, praise Him more, and pray to Him more. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. Proverbs 3 verses 5-6. Silence makes us depend more on God and less on ourselves, receive more from God and less from the world. The sixth lesson is that silence facilitates learning and growth. No one is born knowing everything, no one lives without needing to learn, and no one dies without having something to teach. Solomon gives us the tip to use silence to facilitate learning and growth. Silence makes us more attentive, curious, and receptive to knowledge, more willing, humble, and grateful to teaching. The wise in heart accept commands, but a chattering fool comes to ruin. Proverbs 10 verse 8. The seventh and final lesson is that silence brings us closer to God and ourselves. One of the greatest needs of the human being is to relate, connect, and communicate, not only with others but also with God and oneself. Solomon shows us that silence is a way to get closer to God and ourselves, as it makes us contact our essence, purpose, and vocation. Now all has been heard. Here is the conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep His commandments. Ecclesiastes 12 verse 13. Silence brings us into communion with God and ourselves, helps us find the meaning of life. Our goal will always be to improve people's lives by showing ways to move forward.